Somebody's got a case of the monkeys.
Welcome in. Wow, starting late today. This is probably the latest I've started in a while. What's up, Wicked? Welcome. Hello, what's up, Irtos? How's it doing? I'm doing well. I didn't get enough sleep last night. It was one of those nights where it's like, I think I either had too much caffeine, or I let, anxiety get the best of me. What's up? Welcome in. Nearvex. How you doing, dude? What's up, Nearvex? Jayonha, good evening. Welcome in. So, one thing we might be doing today, and let me know if this interests you all, but it's something that I've been meaning to do and, really hoping to get, momentum and started on, is working on this Wikipedia page. So the way it works, or the way I hope it will work, is that we will be able to collaborate and people can add new posts. However, I think there's still going to be some curation that I'll have to do until I add people specifically to the GitHub. So if anybody's curious on, working on this, or, wants to submit things, I started it over a month ago. And right now, all it is the template. And so this is essentially a work in progress. And so what I wanted to do is start on a couple different pages. So we were thinking, basically a common workflow for the community. So for example, naming conventions, that's a big one. So if I were to go into my project here, which I don't think this has any naming conventions. OG! Welcome in, everybody. I started late today. I'll just be honest, I got off on the wrong foot. But OG here is pushing me onto the right foot. What's up, OG Shakespeare? Welcome in, everybody. The yoke's on you. I saw your message on Twitter. I made sure to handle that first thing. Welcome in, OG Shakespeare and crew. Hope you had a great stream, my friend. Vox Machina, welcome in, you skadoosh bag. I didn't mean that. You're the opposite. Welcome, everybody. Huddle Hill. Hadada. Welcome. Bert, what's up? Welcome. Ding Dong Diddly, how you doing? Ian, hope you're having a nice morning. OG Shakespeare, glad to be of assistance. Thanks, OG. What'd you guys work on today? More of the racing with Rufu? Yoke's on you. Thumbs up. ZMX, welcome. How you doing? So today we were just talking about Irito's Wicked and Nervex and Jayona all popping in early. We were talking about the
answer that for money.
The money, but the Game Maker Wiki. So I think we're going to be documenting a little bit today, and maybe we can explore coding a little bit. But essentially, I wanted to create a community-based website where we can share workflows, tips and tricks, basically all the unofficial Sandbox stuff. And I've been talking about this, at length for the last month or two. But all I had done so far was make this website, which, by the way, if you've never used GitHub, I highly recommend as a way to build your own website for free. For free! For free! free. Yes. So if you are interested in making your own website, go to GitHub. You can try it out. So Garnican, how you doing? Welcome in. Good afternoon. Drakusha, hey ya, hey yo. OG Shakespeare, you made an animated road asset. That sounds cool. I'll have to check that out. So, this website, I'm hoping we can build it in a collaborative way. However, I still have a lot of hiccups in terms of like learning how, to make it collaborative. But I wanted to get started on this today. So we're going to be doing a little bit of documentation. And the idea here is each one of our assets in the sandbox. I'm going to start with this as kind of like the segue into building this website. What is a good naming convention? So let's just go through some of the basics that I use in my own personal, naming conventions. And of course, I think there's going to be others, but the idea here is we have a starting point, and that is most important, to get the ball rolling. Woohoo! So many cyber sumas. Yep, you are on the wall, my friend. This is a PG-13 stream. Okay, moving on. Naming conventions. So, let's say, for example, this was a child object of this parent object. So we're going to do platform, and this is platform 1. And then to make it a parent, I usually put the @ sign. Whereas if it's a child, this will be platform -1, and then up, like the caret, that's the name of that symbol. And so that's my naming conventions. This is going to be just a brief introduction to like organization and Game Maker. What else do we want to work on? We want to talk about messages and tags. So I'm going to make a little to-do list here. Yeah, I'll open up my handy-dandy notepad. I've been trying to work on a lot of my organization techniques, especially over the last 2 months. And I've been making good progress. So I'm very happy with, all the things we've done. By we, I mean me and my schizophrenia. Don Coy! Welcome in. How art thou? And no, I do not have schizophrenia. Or do I? Asks me. So a couple things I like to do. I mark my energy and mood for today. Today, energy-wise, I'm like at a 6 out of 10. Mood, we're feeling good today. We're feeling good. Day planner. This is pretty easy to do. I made a template. I have notepads that I fill out, but we're going to be working on the to-do list here. This software that I'm currently using is called Obsidian. So if you guys are interested in Markdown, so this is a type of coding. Markdown is basically a text file with extra headings. You can bold your text, italicize. It's basically text file version 2. That's Markdown. The software I'm using is called Obsidian. So I'm gonna make sure to share that. It's completely free. It's heavily plugin based. So if you like plugins, as in like communities building add-ons to a software, which I love pretty much every community-driven software has this type of functionality. But yeah, this is the website. It's called Obsidian. So if you want to, build your own custom notepad, this is the software I'm using. So we're going to be working on naming conventions in the sandbox. Starting with my own personal. We're going to be exploring messages and camel case. So, two different types. Camo case, how do I want to phrase this? Organization, maybe? Organization of messages and tags. So this kind of like bullets the list in a way. Doesn't really seem to be having a good time here. Yeah, I mean, those are two good starting points. I don't want to overwhelm myself here. Metafutura, welcome in. Hey, I saw you had a Sandbox game coming out soon. You're welcome to reveal more to those of us just hanging out here. But excited to see and play your game. It's nice to, you know, have other creators and see that other people are actively participating in the metaverse. It's, you know, things have slowed down during the bear market. I always get bull run and bear markets confused. I'm not a crypto bro. Or am I? Anyway, naming conventions. I have a cheat sheet. So I'm gonna pull that up. And then we're gonna try to, you know, build a website. But Sandbox being the prime focus here. Let's see. Which account? I can't be the only one that has like 5 Google accounts, right? Just me? Okay, so this is my little cheat sheet here. And so I've adjusted things, and there's likely going to be a lot of changes to this as well. Oh, and the summer opening for Metafutura's mining game. Oh, I see you were trying to share a link. Metafutura, I don't think sharing links is enabled right now, but if you want to send me a DM, I'll be able to send that to the chat, just so people can peek it. Twitter's good, or Twitch. If you haven't used Twitch chat to DM before, you do, and this is for everybody who's ever used Twitch, you can do /w, half-dork, and that's one way to message me. /w. Well, anyway, naming conventions. I'm gonna try and set this up in a very, you know, engaging, like understood way where, of course, we have examples, we have use cases. I have been working on this for several months, probably like 4 months-ish. And so these are what works for me. Some of these things I haven't even incorporated into my own workflow, but I think it would be useful, you know, for the community to kind of agree upon, like, yeah, this is a good naming convention. Oh yeah, if someone was, you know, streaming this and I saw this text, like I could refer to this, you know, cheat sheet in a way. So right now, you know, this is just a work in progress. I just want to reiterate that. But yeah, I don't know where to start, so we're just gonna start. Excuse me. So the first thing I need to do is pull up my Visual Studio Code. Oh, thank you, Dankoi. I'm sure you have your own system too. And so I hope, you know, we as a community can come together and, you know, kind of like collaboratively find the best, you know, organization. Metafutura, I will send you a DM here. Oh, I see it. I see it. I see it. I see it. Thank you, Metafutura. You have successfully whispered me. So here's what we're gonna just take a quick peek at. Little detour here. Metafutura, the Legend of the Miners. They've been tweeting about this, so I know this is coming out soon. This summer. I love how the Sandbox page has this great presentation. You guys really took advantage of this. This looks great. This is all on the Sandbox website. Armed with determination, the player equips themselves with suitable attire and essential tools, ready to face the formidable boulders that obstruct their path. The unyielding obstacles become stepping stones in their quest, challenging their resilience and resourcefulness. Along their perilous journey, they encounter the last surviving miner, whose wise counsel serves as a guiding light, cautioning them against the presence of precious gems that hold the key to their triumph. As the player delves deeper into the labyrinth mine, they are encased in a world teeming with thrilling adventures and unforeseen dangers. The primary objective becomes clear: to reactivate the long-dormant elevator hoist that grants access to the revered treasure of the miners. With each step forward, secret doors reveal hidden passages leading to 5 distinct regions within the sprawling mine. Traverse these uncharted territories where mischievous elves, elusive mice, and menacing spiders lurk, along with the spectral presence of ghostly pirates. This looks fun, dude. Quest demands not only bravery, but agility and cunning. The player must navigate treacherous parkour challenges, employing strategic thinking to shatter boulders obstructing their path. The pulse quickens as they encounter the exhilarating dynamics of detonating dynamite sticks and deftly leaping onto a mobile cart in motion. The Legend of the Miners pays homage to the golden era of retro gaming, inviting players to rediscover the allure of classic adventures. Will you seize the opportunity to unveil the secrets buried within this mythical mine? Yeah, sure, I'll go.
Alright then, keep your secrets.
What? But yeah, this is Legend of the Miners by Metafutura. Looks like they did some great marketing here, or, you know, cinematics. And so I hope, you know, the release is a successful one. Best of luck to you, Metafutura. And Don Koi, let me know if there's anything, you know, we can work on together. Viverson Art, welcome. So, yeah, I was pulling up my Visual Studio Code, so I need to make sure I don't share any things that I shouldn't, but I'm pretty sure we're good here. So just to put this up on screen. Before I do anything, I should just double check. Pretty sure this isn't going to reveal anything. But this is generally what websites look like from the back end, from the butt. Now you have basically a front page. So this is the config page. If I were to just poke around here, we have example pages. I'm looking for a couple example posts. Oddly enough, I don't see the main page. Oops. And again, I'm just trying not to show anything I shouldn't. Let me make sure I can find the main page here. Oh, here we go. It was in the README. So the README has all the main page here. So if I'm to update this, so we'll just give it a quick test here. Let me zoom in. Yeah, that helps. Yeah, Meta Futura, I'm happy to, you know, just be a springboard for other people in the community. I personally have not been active in community events, and that's something I hope I can change. I think the Sandbox is a great place to be an artist, and I want to make sure everybody has, you know, the opportunity to share their art. And I think starting and like getting your work out there is probably the hardest part. And so if there is anything, and that goes for everybody out there, if there's anything I can do to help you, just to, you know, support another artist, like that is such a fulfilling thing. And I hope, I know a lot of you do the same. And so I want to make sure I'm doing my own, you know, part in the community. So anyway, this is just a little bit of the back end. We can see here, and I'm going to refer to the actual website. So there are a couple hiccups here. It looks like we have light mode for the menu. I don't even see that hamburger menu. It's like nowhere on the website until I zoom in. So I think this is like a phone source because I zoomed in so far. So this is like a phone menu. But anyway, we can see here everything is referring to Game Maker's Wiki. We can see a note here. So I'm going to edit that note, and we're going to just, you know, take this step by step, kind of work through catching back up with like, oh, how does this website work? Because I need a reminder. A lot of these links, I'm going to make sure they aren't going to the old references. So for example, we have like custom mechanics, git skeleton. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this. Custom mechanics, we're going to maybe link to like a cool image or something. Or for now, I'll just remove the link and we'll see what happens. We don't want to confuse anybody. So right now, I'm just going to remove some of these links. So if people were to click them, they won't take you to the default, you know, template page that I got this Wikipedia template from. Okay, so, and then I'm just going to make a quick edit. This is a work in progress. Contact at halfdork, and we're actually going to put my Twitter here. So we'll do https twitter.com/halfdork. If you would like to contribute to this wiki project. Great. So now that I've made that edit, I can publish it. So to publish it, there's a couple ways I can do it. The first way, I could do it here in source control, and I can make a commit. So this is GitHub language. Committing, pushing, and pulling. Those are the main terms to understand GitHub. So a commit is basically me saving a snapshot of the project. Now GitHub is generally code. Code is more or less text. So I am saving a snapshot of a text file. So what would that look like? Well, because it's a snapshot, updated note and readme. So first thing I have to do, save this file. Now it's allowing me to change the commit. So basically it's saying, hey, you've made a change. would you like to commit this? And that's taking the snapshot. So I have labeled it updated note and readme. I will commit it, and then I'm going to push it. So this is what you would do after committing, and it's pushing it to the internet. It's pushing it to GitHub specifically. And I don't have to do anything other than click this button. And there's multiple ways to do this. Like I could do this through the command line, for those of you familiar with like Windows. I could also use GitHub Desktop, which is what I usually use. But this is Microsoft's Visual Code, and so I have the ability to do a lot of things from this software. Push it. Yep, Huddle Hill. It's exactly the same thing. So, after a few seconds, really, like it's that quick, this should update. So we can see here, note it's fully supported by the GitHub platform. If we give it just maybe a minute, probably. We can even refresh the GitHub itself, and we can see it is currently, yep, there's the green check mark to say that the commit went through. I've made 18 commits total on this website. And so this has all of the various commit messages. So like, for example, I just did updated note and readme. And we can see here, it has updated my text. It's even added the link. So if I were to click this, just as we set it up, it's going to take me to Twitter. Go back to GitHub. So now this website has very likely updated. So we go to gamemakers.wiki. And it looks like GitHub has received the push, hence why we saw the update here on the official GitHub. But it still hasn't updated on the main website. So it's going to take a little while here. And that's okay. We can still make our changes, and we can see them live here on the README. So the one thing I want to make sure I'm doing is, editing the actual front page. So right now I'm kind of like adjusting the README, and I'm not even sure if that's the front page. But yeah, that kind of gives you an idea of how GitHub works. And if you guys have questions, I'll do my best to answer. Thank you, Metafutura. If there's anything you'd like to submit, just let me know. Animal Chin, welcome in. How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Force a hard refresh. I think you're right, Garnican. If I did that, which is what? Control F5? Yep, here we go. So this is a work in progress. Contact at Halfdork. We can see it has that link. And then I removed some of the text here. All right, so let's try and set up an example page. Yes, the front page is the README. Yes, thank you, Escaping Artist, for confirming. With my personal website, which also a work in progress, I guess I can let you guys peek it. Which I'm also using GitHub to publish this. Which, by the way, if you want a free website, GitHub does this. You can set up a free website through GitHub, doing what I am currently doing. This is my personal website, so I'm also using the same kind of workflow. And so it's going to have my blog, my devlog, a couple of things that I'm still, it's a work in progress, okay? So am I. As a human being, I'm a work in progress, okay? Anyway, let's go ahead and make an example page. So I'm going to take through Microsoft Visual Studio Code, we're going to make an example page. So we see here we have the example page. This is an example page. You can edit or create a new one. So we're going to do a new page here. I'm going to actually just duplicate this. So I think if I do Control C, Control V, there we go. This is going to be naming conventions. This can change easily enough. This here is the header up at the top. Naming conventions. I'm going to go ahead and copy paste from my Google Sheet here. And we'll see how it imports. I don't think it's going to import well. Yep, so we're going to have to reformat this. So a couple things to do here. I'm going to see how to use Markdown and import a table. So we'll do Visual Studio Code Markdown import a table. So we're doing a lot of coding here. So today it's fun. We're having fun today, everybody. Non-negotiable. Mandatory fun. I specifically requested it. This appears to be the format we're looking for.
I can answer that for money.
That's correct, Garnikin. If you would like a custom domain, such as halfdork.com, you do have to pay for that using a website like Google Domains, Squarespace. But you can point your free website from GitHub using a little bit of code. I can point you guys in the right direction if that's something you're interested in. But very minimal coding to point your GitHub page to the website you've purchased, the name of the website. A domain name is the term. Or you can just use the one that GitHub gets you, which, just to kind of show you, we have halfdork.github.io. Now, if I were to go to that, it actually points to halfdork.com. So basically, by going to halfdork.github.io, the internet is saying like, oh, this is the website name. It's kind of like hosted on GitHub, but the name of the website, the name that appears at the top, is halfdork.com. So you do have to pay for the domain name if you would like a custom domain name. Yes. Alright, so we're going to be using this template here, and we're going to try and incorporate that and see how it looks. We're using Markdown tables. So this seems copy-pastable. So we're going to do naming convention for now. This will be description and example. So we can see here when I copy-pasted it the first time, that I had a few examples. Now these are very likely going to be removed. So we have at. So that goes right here in the naming convention. And then we have the description here. Oh, I see. So that goes in the middle. And then we can see here, we're going to want slime.platform at 1. We'll just keep it simple. So right now it's going to look like a jumbled mess. And that's mainly because I'm zoomed in. And because my description is so long. But in theory, and we can see here this is line 15. Takes up these 3 spaces here. This entire middle portion is part of, one line. Now, if I did that correctly, I should be able to see a result when we publish this. So I'm going to go ahead and just fill out the rest of these with just some basic information. Delete this. Save it. And then I need to make sure this is pointing on the Wikipedia page. So it's going to take a little bit of clicking around. I don't think I'll be showing you guys anything you shouldn't see. So we should be fine. Oh boy. I don't need this. Example page. So this is what we're looking for. So this is our sidebar. So this is kind of like a reference. Basically, if I were to look at the main page of the website, which will go back to Game Maker's Wiki, we can see on the right side, this is the sidebar. And so this is the clickable link. So we want to set that up. And ideally, we're going to have a lot of backlinks throughout the website. So if I am on, this new page that we're making, we're going to want to make sure that there is a way to click the homepage. And so that's what the sidebar is for. It's kind of like a way to go to different, directories on the website. So first thing I'll do is with the sidebar, we'll add another section. So this is a list. This is UL represents a list of items where the order of items is not important. So it doesn't change anything in the document if I were to rearrange these. Now I need to add naming conventions. So I've added that to the sidebar now. One thing I can also do is add this relative URL to the main page. So in theory, I should be able to just copy paste this. I don't think this is the preferred way. Check out our naming conventions at... But again, this is just me testing things, really. Go West, good morning. Welcome in. First time I've heard someone called open source. Animal Chin, open source is the foundation of the internet. The foundation. Okay, anything else? I think this is going to get deleted. This is a post. See if I can find that. They have very simple website structure. Super simple. Now what's nice is I can also search for posts here. Blog feature. Looks like it's enabled. Okay. So I'm just trying to see what a post is. If I were to go here, we can see we have the example post. If I click it, this might be more of like a change log for the website example post. I'm assuming that's kind of the intention for this template. for many uses, you know, like these websites, these GitHub pages, as they're called. This is a website template hosted on GitHub. This one happens to be a Wikipedia kind of template. You know, like a post might be different for a Wikipedia template as it would be for like a blog template. So these posts might be very different compared to the rest of this website. It does look to have a different structure as well. So I want to make sure I copy the same format because it looks like it uses a different color scheme as well. That's something I'll revisit later. I think posts are not important for today's exploration. But we are going to work on this example page. And I want to make sure I can reference it on here. Okay, so let's continue our coding adventure. So now that I've made that addition here, the naming conventions, we have an href. So this is essentially the URL. And I can very likely just use this type of syntax. If that link doesn't work, try this one. So I can just copy paste this real quick. And we'll name it appropriately. Naming conventions. Now, if I were to refer back to the document here, we can see here it has gamemakers.wiki/example-page. So if I copy this, paste it here in this URL link, and then we adjust this to naming conventions. The way my index is set up is it should just pull that file. So we're going to commit it, see if it works. Added naming conventions and adjusted readme. Commit and sync. Cool, so we've pushed that to the internet. We'll give it a little moment or two. Oh yes, escape room artist. Oh yes. And it's incredibly worthwhile to learn. I think everyone could benefit from learning GitHub. It's kind of like the foundation of the internet, really. And I've personally been exploring it the last 2 months especially. I can't show you guys everything I'm working on because there's like a lot of private information. But yeah, this is the last 2 months. I took like a 2-week break though, in between. But these are like all the GitHub commits I've done. So it looks like I've done 6 one day, I've done 23 one day, 21. The most I've done is my own personal website, as well as the wiki. And then, of course, I've been building games on GitHub. So they're hosted on GitHub. And this is what's called version control. And this is something you'll learn outside of the sandbox. So you don't necessarily need to learn version control outside of the sandbox, because the sandbox hosts everything on the cloud. It's already kind of version controlled for you. But for normal game development, let's just say in Unity, which is what I've been teaching myself, you are constantly committing the changes you make in your game and the code you've been building. So if I were to just go to, this is my current project, we can see here that I have my assets backed up. I have all of my packages. so such as animations, and then the project settings themselves, so if I were to adjust things. And so generally speaking, anything that has code, you want to be backing up. And so GitHub is essentially like the go-to way. Alright, so we got our commit 2 minutes ago. If I go to GameMaker Wiki and just do a quick refresh, we can see it's popped up. We have naming conventions. And so we have 2 links here. It looks like both are active and both link to the same thing. Great. So let's make sure the links work. We can see here we even have the table. The table showed up as I wanted it to. It has the naming convention. It has a description. And then it has the example. So we're actually doing things correctly. That's a plus. Usually that doesn't happen. Ooh, that's a good way to back up escape rooms. I like that, escape room artist. That's cool. Okay, so yeah, I mean everything's looking as it should, you know, at least for our skeleton here. And so I'm going to start importing the rest of these. Anything else I want to add to this? I mean, this is fine for now. I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah, so we'll go step by step. And then once it's all on the GameMaker Wiki, I can start adjusting it. So a couple other things that I wanted to add to this. And we can, you know, make these pages in advance. Referring to my notepad, we want the organization of messages and tabs, including camel case, which is a very popular one. Personally, I don't use it as often as some other individuals in the community. I'm trying to organize this better. I'm having trouble. Interesting. There we go. I'll delete this. I wanted to also add like emojis, syntax, which like emojis. And so I made a YouTube video for that, but I think we're going to be making you know, its own wiki page. Okay, so we're going to keep working on the naming conventions, but I'm going to go ahead and add messages, tags, and syntax. Sparky Snickle, welcome in. Sparky, are you streaming after me? Alright, Dorkbot, get out of the way. Get out of the way. Alright. Okay. So I think I'm going to delete this test page. I could add a folder. Trash. Let's do copy paste. This is going to be messages. This page is for messages. We'll do different headers here. Organization, labeling, this second header is for different ways you can organize your messages. Shows different ways. Labeling. By labeling your messages with clear syntax shown in the naming conventions. So is there an easy way to link this? Out of the links that we made, I'm going to try and see if this works. Shown the naming convention. So we're going to remove this, see if this works. Or this is the fourth header if you need it. Okay, we're gonna duplicate this one. This is gonna be tags. And we also had, what else? The syntax. Such as bold and italics, just as a reminder. Great. So back in the naming conventions, we'll add a few more. Believe you are. Sounds great, Sparky. But yeah, anyone interested in making your own website, can't recommend GitHub enough. I've had a great learning experience. There's tons of tutorials on YouTube. I will make sure that you are pointed in the right direction. So feel free to DM me. On Twitch and Twitter are the best places. I'll make sure you are set on the right foot. It's a great place to host your own content, whether it be like a gallery, it can be, like a blog, whatever you want to build. Like GitHub can host it for free. That's the big takeaway here. You don't have to pay monthly. You can just have everything on GitHub. And not enough people are talking about it, to be honest. Okay, so let's go ahead and just copy paste this entire list. See what happens. So it looks like it already made the lines for me. Okay. Here's my notes. What's this percentage? Okay, we can just make sure that's working. Before I do that, though, I want to make sure all these pages appear on the README. So that's going to be in the sidebar. So we have messages, syntax, and tags. QRST messages. Syntax. Tags. Alphabetical. Messages. Syntax. Tags. Okay, so those will show up in the sidebar. Looks like I have one unsaved file. So we want to make sure these are saved. Contains emphasized items. What does that mean? So one of my files, I think it's this one, didn't get saved. There we go. Error went away. Added new pages. Edited sidebar. Cool. Commit and push. So conversely, a pull would be to copy everything that's on GitHub. So if I were to go and work on my laptop, for example, I would want to pull from GitHub everything that I've been working on through my desktop. So right now I am pushing new code to GitHub, and it basically syncs with GitHub. If I make any changes, they do not get synced until I commit them and then push them. So you can make many commits on your own personal, like computer, but they will not be on the cloud until you push them. So that's why there's a difference between committing and pushing. Committing is kind of like saving on your own local system, whereas pushing is basically saving onto the cloud or the internet. Yeah, Nervex, it's been a ride learning Unity. I currently do it every Thursday and Friday over on Kick and YouTube. And so I think I'll maybe start streaming it on Twitch too. I don't want to get in trouble on Twitch. I think I'm already pushing my luck. Yeah, Nervex, it's been a journey. It's I am a beginner in the base sense. Very beginner. Okay. So let's refresh our website here. We can see all of the pages that I've added are now in the sidebar. So if we were to go to naming conventions, we can see my table. Looks pretty good. Everything seems to be here. Even have my little note section down at the bottom. I'll prettify it as time goes on. Like I'll add images, whatever. But for now, this works pretty well. We can go to messages. We can see here, it's actually making like a table of contents, which is nice. And it looks as though my hyperlink is working, and I did a really simple hyperlink for that. So if I were to refer back to my document, we can see here, all I did was make the clickable link in brackets, so that's the text that appears, and then the actual clicking link just uses a / naming conventions. So it's pulling the file directly, from the GitHub page And everything's working. Like, everything is clickable. So this is, yeah, everything's working, which is very surprising. Usually I fail the first few times, but, you know, experience is starting to pay off. So we have our menu here. We have our last 10 updated pages, so that's going to vary over time. Now, this is probably going to be the difficult portion, is adding new posts and pages. So we can see here, posts might be for contributors. So this is going to take me to pros.com. This is kind of like a an integrated way to collaborate. So this is going to be community post test 1. Right now, I'm sorry for the brightness of the screen. Is there a dark mode for this? Doesn't look like it. Oh well. Guess you guys get to suffer. I am creating a sample post as if I were a collaborator. Okay, so this is the file name. We're going to do post community post test 1. So we can save it, commit it. Test 1 post. Commit it. You can even preview it. So I've committed the post. It's saved. Now, in theory, this should appear. And it did. So this is where things are a little bit collaborative. So now I have the option through this button, the same button that I've been pushing, to pull changes from online. So if I look here, we don't have anything in the post other than the example post. If I go back to my source control, I can push this button, and that has pulled from the internet this community post that I've been working on. So basically, a collaborator would be able to log in through this Pros.io website. They would be able to submit a post, and then I could pull that from online. Now, that's only because I am the owner of this GitHub. If I gave, you know, someone else access to this GitHub, which is, you know, very likely going to happen, someone else could do the same thing. They could be pulling and pushing from this repository, and then they could add that post as its own page. So right now, that's what we're working with, is posts and pages. So right now, I've been given this post that I, you know, submitted using that functionality.
What do you want to do tonight?
97A.
Same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
It's the half wiki. What's up, 9A? Welcome in. And yeah, Ian, it's learning a new skill set, really. Like, this is stuff I feel like I should have learned a while ago, but it clicks. You know, I'm starting to get it. All it takes is practice. And that could be said for anything in life. So whatever you guys want to learn, just know that you have to start now. You have to practice. So, we have our post. I could then copy paste this, and then I could even delete the post when we're done with it. So for example, I'll go ahead and make a Converted post. I converted the example post. See below. So take this community post test. Save it. And then I can move that into the trash. So now I can commit these changes. Pulled community post 1. Added to a page. Moved post to trash. So right now I'm over the 50 recommended text characters for a commit. So this is basically a description of, you know, the change I have made. So right now I have too much text. I don't need this much text. Hold post 1. Added page. Move post to trash. It's basically a description of like all the changes that have happened. So the only thing here is that I have not actually linked this post anywhere, so nobody's going to be able to find it. So if I wanted to link it, we just go through the same process of adding that to the sidebar, or backlinking it elsewhere on the website. It should also show up in the sidebar automatically from the last 10 edited pages or posts. So it might take a moment here. Do a Control F5. Yep, here's our converted post, and we had deleted the post. And so that's ideally what's probably going to happen. And that's a pretty simple workflow. Like I'm happy with that overall. Yeah, everything's working. Pretty happy. So yeah, today was a little bit different in terms of, you know, what we're doing in the sandbox, but I hope this is helpful for a lot of you, especially new creators out there. We're going to be making a wiki page to share tips and tricks as well as organization. Oh yeah, 97A, I did notice that with in the example page. Where is it? Oh, it's not even here on the main page. Interesting. But on the home page, it's fine. But yeah, I did misspell that. But that's fine. This is just a test. So if I were to go to a different page, it seemed to hide that. But it looks like it fixed itself. No, here it is. So on the tags page, it seems to hide the converted post. Now, I think that's because I specifically used this tags as the copy-paste. I don't see why that would happen, though. This doesn't have, like, some sort of, like, metadata, does it? Because right now, that's kind of what is preventing me from viewing it on the website. So if I go to the tags page, No, it seems to have fixed itself now. That's a little bit odd. But hey, it fixed itself, so I can't complain. Can't complain. converted. No worries, 9A. Thank you for keeping an eye out. Little markdown to start the day. Yep. Alright, I'm gonna take a break. I earned it. We're actually making, good progress on this. I feel as though I'm picking this up and running with it. Sometimes I pick it up and then fumble it a few times, but right now I'm picking it up and running, so. Feels good, man. Yeah, enjoy the halftime show. Yeah, we'll hide that. When Beyonce? She'll be here. She promised. She promised. Alright, I'll be right back. I guess I'll do a giveaway, why not? You guys have been good.
You can do it!
I'm doing it.
Banana.
Banana. You're Montenegrin guy. What's up, dude? For free.
Skadoosh.
Yo, what's up, dog? J-Dog. We got Elko Zero, welcome. Lula Love 9, how you doing? Welcome in new folks, new friends, old friends, middle-aged friends. So if you're just now popping in, we've been working on the website today. So Game Maker's Wiki, making good progress. Generally speaking, this website is going to be a home for tips and tricks, you know, like the unofficial stuff of the Game Maker. I'm not saying this is going to be... What can I promise? Nothing, really. I can't promise anything. But I do want this to be a, you know, like an exploration of our findings as a community. So a couple of the other things that we want to put on here are current events, such as game jams. We also want to have a section for the changelog. So I actually linked directly to the main Sandbox site here. We can see here, July 4th was the last edition of the Game Maker itself. Now, I could perhaps make like an embed. I don't know how well this would go over. But that might be a good addition. Yours. Let's see. But yeah, we're just working on adding organizational stuff. But if you want, we can do a little bit more literal sandboxing, a little game makering. So I think we're going to do a poll on Twitch here. What do? So for the last 30 minutes, Sandbox Game Maker, Game Maker's Wiki. So you guys have a little bit of time. We'll do 3 minutes. And in the meantime, I'll just do a little bit of building here. So you guys have a preference on what we do for the last 30 minutes of the stream? You can vote. Democracy.
I love democracy. I love the Republic.
We were working on yesterday. We did a lot yesterday. I'm very happy with how this is shaping up. I added all the NFTs that we've been working on. We're going to be adding interactables in front of them so you can learn more about them. And it'll also link to OpenSea. Each one of these are currently placeholders. We're going to be doing sequentially, you know, 1 through... We have 42 at the moment. Right now, on each wall, it can host 18. So that's 18 times 4, or 9 times 8, so about 72 can currently be featured along the wall here. And yeah, overall, I'm pretty happy with how it's shaping up. Probably going to be making another, like a platform maybe, or some way to get from floor to floor. And then down here, you have the lava pits. And this will just kind of be like a little mini game. I think what we'll do is we'll set it up kind of like Fall Guys style, where each one of these will be removed when somebody steps on it. And then there needs to be like a reset button. Now I did set up something similar for this near the top of the map. However, I don't think that's working anymore because I was using health components. Blur. Looking good? Thanks, OG. It's definitely a prototype. It's a rough draft. You do have a limited amount of time to jump out. Although, I don't think you'll be able to jump out. Well, swimming's enabled, so you should be able to. But my first thought was like, oh, yeah, there's no damaging blocks, I don't think, in multiplayer. Which, I'm not sure how much I'm supposed to say about this next part. I guess this is beans. But I will be working on Belphegor's Ball and updating that throughout the next month. I'm going to ask Alex if I can stream it. But yeah, those are the beans. Mosquita! Buenos dias, welcome in. So yeah, the votes are in. We're going to keep working on the Wikipedia page. Thank you to those that voted. But yeah, this is what we were working on yesterday. We'll probably pick it back up through the week. Alright, I'm gonna roll that giveaway though. Huddle! Huddle won yesterday too. Huddle, how many coins do I owe you? GG! I owe Huddle 11 coins. That's roughly 11 sand. GG! Okay, well. GG! Go West bought one too. Let's go West.
I love lamp.
I too love lamps. Yolks on you bought one. Alright. Marking it down. You guys are robbing me. Don't rob me. Okay, well, I'm getting robbed. Thank you, Fred, for picking me while I'm being robbed.
I'm sorry, winning.
Okay, I guess we're just gonna keep updating this. Here's what I'm updating, by the way, for those of you curious. This is my little notepad where I'm marking. Well, yeah,
Right?
with the
Am I right?
So Mosquita, also buying one. I owe Mosquita 5.
Banana friend.
For goodness sake, yeah,
That's
just like bananas.
Just like
Bananas are
bananas.
good. Bananas are good.
And Ian, another one. Thank you. This is my coins list. And so this is everybody who basically frequents the stream. I'm very happy to announce that all of the NFTs have gone out. I basically went through this list. It cost me over $100 in gas, but I had like a backlog, like I think like 3-4 months of like giveaways that I hadn't sent out. Thank you everybody for your patience. Those have been sent out. Now these are all Polygon assets, so this won't cost me more than $1. Send all these. That's what I get for taking so long.
This is fine.
This is fine. Alright, so one thing we're going to attempt to do here is I want to embed a website. Embed a website in Markdown. What is that?
Kozero just followed.
Yo, thanks for the follow, Kozero. Much appreciated. So I want to embed like a web page. Wicked! Drop it 100 bits!
100 bits. THX for the arms that have 01.
Yay! Wicked, thank you. And I'm glad the arms. It only took me a couple months, Wicked.
Kozero just subscribed.
Only a few. Elka0 with the subscription. Thank you. I'm glad you find yourself so comfortable that you would give me money. Appreciate that. Thank you for subscribing. Yeah. So, continuing with this, we want to embed a website. So I want to do an iframe, I think. So let's see if we can get this working. Looks like somebody was having trouble doing what I'm trying to do. So we'll click this first. iframe tag and a few others are disabled by default because they're a security risk. Oh. Still not working. So iframes are a security risk. That's nice. Ugh. Excuse me. Well, we could just copy paste the changelog into the website. I mean, that is an option. But before I do that, I'll attempt to do the iframe and we'll see what happens. So we'll go back into Visual Studio Code. And we're going to add a new wiki page. This is the converted post. I'll just paste that there for now. And we'll make a duplicate. This is going to be GameMaker. We'll do like a TSB GameMaker. That way I can find it faster, maybe? I don't think that's important. We'll just do GM changelog. So we'll do GameMaker changelog. So now I'm going to take this URL, change it up. Width-wise, we'll try 1280 by 720. So that's a typical HD ratio. So that's 120 or 1280 like pixels, I guess you could say, by 720. I don't think it's actually pixels. It's like a resolution. It's kind of scalable. I think pixels is the wrong word. Okay, so we'll take the changelog. We'll do changelog. Yeah, escape room artists. I'll make it rain. That HD was taller than what? That's because, yeah, I'm in high definition, 9A7A. To enjoy my streams, you either have to be high or deaf. Oh. Is that the definition? Sparky Sniggle, anything specific to see in Vox Edit today? Ooh, good question. Or stuck at work, Go West. OG Shakespeare, cheers to that, man. Anything specific, Sparky? Personally, I love learning more about animation techniques. So I don't know if you have like a specific way you handle animations in Vox Edit. Also learning about probably like the lesser known features of Vox Edit, such as IK. I know IK is very easy to miss, and it's incredibly useful. So like making a worm might be a fun idea, Sparky Snickle, where it's like the head you move and you can watch the rest of the body kind of follow along. So IK is definitely worth learning. Alright, so I've got my changelog here. I'm going to try referencing this on other portions of the website. So definitely in the sidebar here. And then on the README. So for example, in the changelog, I want to put the embed here. But for now, we'll just do changelog posted here. We'll make sure it's working before I, break everything. This is going to be gm.changelog. Okay, was there anything else I had on my notepad? So in my notepad, the do's were naming conventions. Move my camera. And so I'm just kind of like setting these things up as we go. Starting with personal. Organization of messages and tags such as camel case. And then syntax like emojis. So camel case and emojis we'll go ahead and add pages for. And then I feel pretty good about all the progress we've made. Okay, so syntax. We'll actually make a second header here. This will be emojis. I think that would also fall into syntax. Or labeling. So this would be camel case. It does fall under syntax, right? Like, what does syntax mean? The arrangement of words and phrases to create well-formed sentences in a language. Yeah. Like camel case alternatives. Snake case. Ooh, I've never heard of this. Alternatives, we have snake case. So that's lowercase letters and underscores to separate words. Pascal case, similar to camel case, except the first letter of every word is uppercase. What? What's the difference? What's the difference between that and camel case? Names are easy to understand without the need. Another advantage. Okay. The first word is always all lowercase, including the first letter. That's a lower camel case. So it's just a different word for it? Okay, so... there's just different names. Kebab case uses all lowercase and hyphens. So kebab case is kind of what I prefer, I found. I love a good kebab. Woke Zombie, what's up, dude? Welcome in. Is it still broken? We could play with it. I saw someone make a tweet about it, and so that's why I mentioned it. Or it was like they were doing like a tower or a worm and just making it inverted or yeah, inverse kinematics, right? Escape from Artist saw someone play with IK and got it working, but that was the only one I seen. Yeah, Escape from Artist, I think we saw and are referring to the same thing. Fred's backroom game. Ooh. Yeah, that might be fun, Sparky. Why not? You should go with what you're feeling. You know, and that goes for anybody who streams or wants to stream. You just gotta do what you want to do. Forcing yourself to do something is how you exactly to have a bad time. That's exactly how you have a bad time. Okay, so we're gonna list camel case, kebab case, snake case. Kebab case. GG! Hit your weight loss goals. Congratulations, Woke Zombie. Gain lots of muscle. Alright, well, you don't have to rub it in. Just kidding. Please rub it in. Now it's getting weird. I'm sorry. Where am I? Snake case. Pascal case. I've never heard of Pascal case, but apparently it's the same exact thing as camel case. We can learn a little bit more about it. First letter of each compound word. So Pascal case and camel case. The only difference between the two is that Pascal case requires the first letter of the first word to also be capitalized. So when using Pascal case, every word starts with an uppercase letter. So it looks like camel case, by default, the first word is lowercase. It's good to know. So yeah, we'll make that a part of this document here. And this is all, you know, coding lingo. You know, how you decide to, you know, use your own syntax, your own naming conventions. It's not as, you know, essential that you do a specific way. All that matters is that you have a system that works for you. So this would be an editor's note. This label requires the least amount of effort to use. You are pressing fewer buttons as compared to the other options. These button presses add up over time. Okay. Emojis. Some, but not all, emojis can be shown in the Game Maker. Here are those that can be used. What you need to type to show them. Here's the syntax for the ones usable. Yeah. So emoji. Syntax. Yeah, don't I need like a little buffer? Little buffer. This is syntax. I don't think we need a third column here. Yeah, Escape from Artist, it's interesting. I thought the same, to be honest. But yeah, Pascal case is the correct term. Talking about coding, yeah, I'm glad to delve into my very limited knowledge, 97A. Right now I'm doing C#, and this is more or less like HTML, CSS, and GitHub. Just learning how GitHub works. PHP, Garnican, that's like server stuff, isn't it? Like learning how websites kind of communicate. Flask, ooh. So you're not like the superhero then, 987A. Okay, just confirming. Okay, so emojis. This is going to be a little bit complicated, but we did make a video for this. So I mean, this is kind of a cheat sheet. I do have the URL saved as well. It uses rich text. However, I don't think emojis are actually here. It was sprites. So it's a sprite asset. Now, unfortunately, we don't have like a literal list. And so that's why I made this video. In this video, we're taking a look at and so this was all the options that we found. And then I also made sure to mention the different like markdown options, bolding. So all of these I'm also going to add to this Game Maker wiki. Hey, ding dong diddly. I see what you did there. So if you guys want to watch this video that I'm basically going to be referring to, I'm going to try and add these syntax and see how it looks. Ideally, I would like to add emojis. So let's see if it'll register. It should. I mean, this is just normal website. Yeah, so emojis do appear. By the way, if you want to use emojis on the desktop, this is a key binding that every Windows computer and Mac, I think it's Command instead of Alt. Or nope, I'm sorry. It's Control period. Damn it, I'm wrong. Alt period? I just did it. Well, I somehow broke it. Because I literally did it and added this thumb. And then it just no longer wants to work. No code action. So it's the key binding apparently does not translate well. Blech. It's control period, by the way. I got a little frustrated there by the lack of it not working. Emojis. Control period. So, by the way, if you try it, control period. Alt period? So, emoji, Windows, key binding. Windows period. Doi! I'm over here, like, trying to explain things, and I did it wrong. But I did it right the first time, ironically. Windows plus period. Moving on. Doi! Alright, so it is 10 o'clock, so we are wrapping up here. We're gonna hold out. Make sure Sparky Snickle is live before we cut the stream. Delete some of these. Yeah. Good ending point here. Not me, G-Wiz. I'm Sandbox and Unity. I feel like my plate's already full. Looks like Sparky Snickle is live, so we're gonna head over there. Closing time. Thank you, Nervex.
It's closing time.
Closing time.
You don't gotta go home, but you can't stay here.
Woo! We're heading over to the Snickles. Party at Snickles' place.
You're all free now!
Yeah.
Yay! Woohoo!
Are you okay?
Special thanks to El Zoro for the follow and the sub. We also had Wicked with the bits. Thank you. OG, thank you for the raid. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thanks everybody for tuning in.
There's a chance.
There is a chance.
Yeah!
Hope you all have a nice Tuesday. Whatever you're up to today, may it go well. I will be back tomorrow, same time, same place, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to continue working on the website. I think this is a good use of our time. We're making something that the community can make a lot of use out of, and I'm having a lot of fun making it. So, delete the question. Okay, Escape from Mars. Let me know if I missed something. Anyway, have a great day, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Talk to you soon. See you at Sparky's.
Going to turn our volumes down a little bit. Hello, good morning. Thank you for the raid.
Hello.
So
Good morning.